Hi, welcome back to Training Tuesday. My name is Suzanne Castle. I am here with you every Tuesday about 10 a.m. or so Central Time to help us up-level our leadership, live our best lives, and basically just find a better way than the manic lifestyle that we're all told is the way that we have to show up in the world. And today, I really want to talk about emotional energy and self-care and confidence and all of those things because taking care of our bodies and our minds isn't simply enough anymore. Right? Too often, we walk around like zombies, right? We're barely making it from one day to the next, to the next, to the next. We're emotionally zapped, right? Anybody feeling me? Drop a comment. Let me know you're watching. And if that is you, maybe throw an emoji of a zombie or something. I feel like we're stretched too thin. I feel like we're kind of to the hilt in stress. And I think that it's time for all of us to just say that isn't serving us, right? We know it, but I'm not sure that we really do anything about it. And so I think it's time for us to spend a little bit of our thought energy on what emotional energy is and getting back on track with our lives and our leadership and how we're showing up because we often limit our energy to our physical body, right? I'm doing my Heisman's, right? I'm doing my burpees. I've got to go take a walk, right? But the importance of proper diet and exercise, along with good and restful sleep, also help physically replenish the body, right? And our minds are fed with knowledge. So that's also part of our emotional energy. So there's mindfulness techniques. You hear me talk a whole lot about that, about, seeing the glass half full instead of half empty. And we also have, though, emotional energy. So emotional energy gets depleted when things get too hectic. We can't find a sense of balance. Some people talk about adrenal fatigue, right? We talk about mind fog, right? But there's also emotional energy things that we can do to kind of ramp up self-care, ramp up balance, ramp up how we show up in a directive way, an intentional way instead of reactive way. And without fueling up the emotional tank, so to speak, what happens is we're basically unable to perform at our very best, and we are left unable to conquer all of the big and little bumps in the road that life seems to throw our way. I was talking to someone yesterday who said that, it's not that it's this and it's this and it's this and it's this. It's something that the one little thing falls on top. And it's a little thing. It's not even a big thing. But that one little thing makes everything topple over, right? Where normally that one little thing would just not be a thing. But when it's leveled and it's leveled and it's leveled and it's leveled, yeah, that's what happens. Oh, good. I'm getting some feedback that, yeah, you are with me on this. Great. I'm glad that you're here. Thanks for tuning in. So let's talk about some do's and some don'ts when we're thinking about emotional energy alongside our mindfulness, our mind, alongside our physicalness, our bodies, right? To ensure that we're increasing and not depleting. Okay, so these are things that successful people do all the time. Successful in life, successful in business, successful in volunteer work. These are just some habits that they curate and that practices that they do. And I've been collecting them. And so I wanted to spend a few minutes with you talking about first, toxic clutter. Let's talk about toxic clutter. I think that, we had the whole condo thing that happened with Marie Kondo, and people got all upset because she was like, throw away books. You should have some books. All right. But here's the thing. We really need to not hang on to things that don't matter. Now, hear what I said about that. Things that don't matter. Right? So this could pertain to emotional baggage. It could be physical items that are taking up too much space. Here's what happens. When you're surrounded by stuff, okay, it's impossible to think straight. Your brain just can't help you show up as your very best self. And what happens is you tend to be a little more irrational in those moments, okay? When there's too much negative energy that's spilling over from every single pore, from all the stuff that's around you. And, there's the feng shui way of living, and feng shui states that if you're not in love with it, get rid of it. I love that. So if you're not in love with something, get rid of it. If you're not in love with a relationship, a friend, let's say that every time you're with that friend, you feel like a crumb afterwards, get rid of it. If there is a thing that's sitting on the cabinet and it stares at you all the time, right? And you're like, get rid of it. It's okay. Get rid of it. Maybe just pack it away and don't look at it if you're afraid to actually physically remove it from your space. So that's the first thing. You want to cleanse your mind, your body, your spirit of all things that are causing toxicity, toxic people included. So these things and these people, they serve no purpose other than dragging a person down. And we don't need that, right? We're working on our emotional energy and leveling up. The next habit that successful people do is it's called the negativity switch, all right? So that is where you decide, I am going to not be so critical, overly critical of myself and others. So zeroing in on everything that doesn't meet one's own expectations negatively impacts oneself and others. So if the kids have left a mess in the kitchen or an employee messed up yet another customer order, pointing it out without offering some sort of praise or way forward is like punching someone in the gut. And we shouldn't be surprised when they say it hurts, right? So we flip the negativity switch off, and then we focus instead on possibility thinking, on positive thinking. So positivity begets more positivity. So instead of pointing fingers, making mountains out of molehills, we hear that all the time, right? Try to purposefully notice the good. Now, it may not meet your expectations now, right? We all have to manage our expectations, right? But when people and family members don't feel persecuted for even trying to be better, they're more inclined to do a better job next time. And then that resets you in the way that you're showing up for yourself and for others. So lighten up, let it go a little bit. Okay, that's going to be really helpful information as we move into the holiday season, right? And then let's talk about Independence Day. Not what you're thinking, but Independence Day is not living your life on what other people expect of you. Gain your independence. So that constant nagging, that feeling of not being good enough or not meeting expectations of others is emotionally draining and destructive. Because then it makes it hard to work towards goals for someone else when they get all the satisfaction, right? So you want to set personal goals. You definitely want to strive to meet them for your own personal benefit, for your own personal satisfaction. But I want to encourage you to never stop learning, never stop achieving, never stop going for self-betterment. You know, the fact is that someone else will inevitably be disappointed. Just tell yourself, today I'm going to disappoint someone. So I'm going to go do my life anyway. Right? Break free of the people-pleasing shackles and emotional starvation. It's going to feel amazing, and you'll be surprised at how creative you actually show up for your life and for yourselves. I also would like to state that no isn't a dirty word, right? That's a really good practice that successful people have. It's a great habit to cultivate. Don't be the yes person all the time. Don't be obligated to commit to other people's plans and projects and goals. And I don't want you to feel bad for saying yes for lunch with a friend. Like, if you're not feeling like that's a hell yes, then it's not a yes, okay? It's entirely too easy to take advantage of the one who never says no. So do set the fear of saying no aside and be the creator of your own schedule. There are only so many hours in a day and days in a week. So I want you to be realistic about what you are being asked. Just because Energizer Bunny, like me, can do this, and this, okay, great for them, but that might not be you. But you have to understand what your energy flow is and what you can manage, and then be realistic and communicate it. Part of the problem that we have is we just don't explain why we can't do something. And then it causes conflict and commitment. We don't want to do that. So just politely decline the request and say, my schedule doesn't allow for that right now. Okay, you can do that. I know that you can. The last tip that I want to give you today is about birds of a feather. So in birds of a feather, they flock together, right? But don't surround yourself with people who aren't going to be a positive influence. Negativity begets more negativity. It's impossible to find joy when negative Nancy and hateful Harold are constantly bringing pessimism and gloom into every single conversation. It's a nasty cycle. It's emotionally exhausting. And guess what? You get to say no to that too. You get to say, I am worth more than that. You've seen me wear my shirt. I should have worn it today. It says Babes Empower Babes. If you're not feeling empowered in a relationship, it is time to just set that aside. I want you to be forging relationships with people who are supportive, who promote the goodness in themselves and others, people that are living fantastically happy lives. They don't have time to point out the flaws in others. They don't have time to sit and muck and mire all the time. They're too busy working on themselves, supporting others who deserve their time. Won't that be amazing? Won't that make you feel successful? Won't that be a different way to approach self-care? These are all habits that I know that you can cultivate, and I am really glad that you were here with me. Lori says that it's good to have independence. Yep, live for well-being. That's exactly right. Not the expectations of others. Yep, thanks for commenting, Lori. I really do appreciate it, and so glad all the Instagram people are here with me. Great, I see you. Thank you. Well, that's it. That's all I have for you today. We try to get out of here in 10 minutes. It's 10:10, so that we did that just right. If you want to know more about cultivating these kinds of habits, I'm doing something on a Saturday, like this Saturday. If you drop a message below, I'll send you a link and we'll get you signed up and ready to rock. I'm Suzanne. I want you to go out and live an intentional, amazing life today. I'll see you soon.